Hi everyone and welcome back to Christy's Cookbook Chronicles. For those of us joining for the first time, I'm Christy. I live in Coimbra, Portugal, and I am cooking my way through my vast collection of cookbooks. If you're anything like me, you've amassed cookbooks and never fully cooked your way through them. So my goal is to cook my way through every single cookbook that I have, and I hope that you'll join me for that ride. So far, we've been cooking out of the African American Heritage Cookbook by Carolyn Quick Tillery. And so tonight is a special one for me. We're going to make sweet potato bread. My mother loves sweet potato bread. Specifically, she loved my grandmother's sweet potato bread, who used to make it for her often before she passed away, and my mother never learned how to make it. So when I saw this recipe for sweet potato bread in the book, I knew I had to do it for my mom. Even though she's not here, I think she'll get a lot of joy just from watching me make it. So let's get started. So guys, this recipe calls for us to have some pretty basic ingredients. You probably already have all of these already in your pantry, which is fabulous. But I'm gonna give you a small caveat. This recipe makes 3 loaves of sweet potato bread. I actually split this recipe because I didn't want to make 3 loaves. I'm making 1 loaf. And so we will see how this turns out if my calculations are correct, but I'm going to give you what is exactly in the cookbook. So with that being said, the recipe calls for 5 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. My flour is already in here in the bowl. It calls for 3 tablespoons of baking soda, which is also already in my bowl of flour, 3 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ground nutmeg, and 1 teaspoon of ground allspice. All of my spices already are in here mixed together. It also calls for 2 1/4 teaspoons of salt, which is already in my flour mix. It calls for 2 cups of brown sugar and 2 cups of white sugar. I have both of my sugars already in this cup already. It calls for 1 1/2 cups of vegetable oil, which I have here. Also for 6 eggs. Of course, I don't have 6, I have 2 because I'm changing the recipe a bit. They're right here. It also asks us to use 1 1/2 cups of pineapple juice, which is new to me, but I'm interested. I want to see how this comes out. 3 cups of cooked mashed sweet potato. My sweet potato is already here. I roasted my sweet potatoes, but you can boil them. I just think roasting sweet potatoes gives them a richer, deeper flavor. You also need to have 1/2 cup of heavy cream. I don't need 1/2 cup since I'm making less, but here's my heavy cream. And you will need 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of golden raisins, and 3/4 cup of pecan halves. I have eliminated the raisins and the pecans because I don't actually dig that in my sweet potato bread, or any bread really. So it's up to you. I suggest you can follow the recipe. I don't think that will alter it significantly. But again, your cuisine, your rules, you do what you like to do. And so we're going to get started. You need to preheat your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. And you will grease and flour your loaf pan. I've already done that here. And your loaf pan is a standard size loaf pan like you use for meatloaf. It should be like 9 by 5 by 2, something along those lines. And you're going to combine your flour and those next 5 ingredients, which is the baking soda, the salt, and your spice mix. So we'll go ahead and put that all together. And then you're going to combine all of your wet ingredients right here along with the sugars. And I'm going to do that using my mixer. So now that our other ingredients are already mixed together, I'm gonna go ahead and add our vanilla extract. I'm using vanilla paste. I like it. It's just a little bit more concentrated flavor to me, but it really doesn't matter. You can use them 1 for 1 as a substitute for one another. It's just your preference. Again, your cuisine, your rules. You do it makes you happy. Vanilla bean paste makes me happy. And we're gonna go ahead and add our heavy cream. So let's go ahead and mix that. And then once this is all incorporated, we're gonna add this to our dry ingredients and beat that all together, and then just pour it in our loaf pan. I'm happy with that consistency, so let's go. So now that we have our sweet potato and wet ingredients all mixed together, we're going to add that to the dry. Those dark brown clumps are pieces of brown sugar. I have this brown sugar here that I like so much. I think it's called Whitworth or Wentworth. It's out of the UK, and I adore it. It has so much good molasses in it, and that's what makes it stick together a little bit, but I think it gives a great taste if you're looking for something a bit deeper and more complex. So we're gonna go ahead and mix this up together. I'm not gonna fully whisk it, I'm just incorporating it a bit, and then I'm gonna use my spatula to just beat it. It's looking so pretty. Can you guys see that? It's getting thick. So let's go ahead and... I don't want to overbeat it because I don't want the bread to be dense and tough, but I want to make sure I don't have raw flour in that bowl. So I think we're pretty good, and you then pour this into your loaf pan. You're going to bake that for, I believe it's 75 minutes, but check it. I would check it after 60 minutes and then check it every 10 to 15 minutes after that just to make sure. So we're going to put this in our 375-degree Fahrenheit oven, and hopefully it tastes delicious. Okay, so now our batter's in the pan, and baby, let me tell you, this batter tastes delicious. I had to stop myself from licking the spatula like a child. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to go ahead and bake it, and then we're going to eat it. I think it's going to be magnificent. So let's go. Okay, everyone, so our sweet potato bread is now finished. It's warm in my hand. Look at that. It came out beautifully, and it smells delicious. I'm very excited because I've never made sweet potato bread or any bread with pineapple juice before and heavy cream. So let's see what this tastes like. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm cutting a piece for us, and everyone knows the end piece is always the best piece. Oh gosh. So I'm making it fall apart. That's okay. Here it is. Let's see how it tastes. Okay, I'm tasting a piece. That is freaking delicious, and I will be making this again. It's sweet. You can taste the sweet potatoes. I taste the brown sugar. It has a nice crunch to it, but it's really moist on the inside. Highly encourage you to try it. So far, the African American Heritage Cookbook is a star. It's a winner. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll make this because it's great. This would be a great gift for your holiday gifting. I think a homemade present is always great. So I hope you'll cook this. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I look forward to hearing back from you guys. Join me the next time. Ciao.